Shalom. In this lesson, we're going to deal with this term Lucifer, because this term Lucifer is a real um, topic that causes people to stumble, especially in the churches, because these so-called churches, basically what they do is they follow, as Yahweh Shai say, they follow the commandments of men. They don't really study the scriptures. They just listen to what their pastor says, and they might read a couple of scriptures here and there, and then they'll just take things out of proportion, because they really don't have the understanding of the Bible. So what we're going to do in this lesson is we're going to go into this term Lucifer to see what it really means, and to see if it ties into this to the demonic being Satan, which it doesn't. But we're going to show you that it was all basically it was all Greek mythology and a cunningly devised fable. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead to the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, and the 12th verse, because this is where they get this nonsense from about Satan being the fallen angel and all that. And that's why they have to keep making up stories in the scriptures to try to make it seem like if you don't have any understanding of the scriptures and you read the scriptures that they put together for you, then of course you're gonna go for it because it's a cunningly devised fable, But if you do your research and you do your study and you look up certain words, then you'll find out that whole Satan being cast out of heaven basically is nothing but a hoax and a lie, because the Most High creates both. He creates good and he creates evil, and in the heavens he has a council, and in the council that he has angels on his right hand side and he has angels on his left hand side, and it's so to this very day. All right. And the reason why that was done was one of the primary reasons why it was done. It was to keep the masses of people in check, with the hell thing, so that they can give their lands and all that stuff over to the Roman Catholic Church. And also it was set up too so that to take the focus of Satan or of a seed that Satan has here on the earth, the so-called white man. So they do all these things to try to avoid putting the spotlight on them. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead to the book of Isaiah 14 and 12, and we're going to go right into it. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Now here it says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Now if you read at face value and you listen to the stories that they tell you, and they, like I said, they'll put a couple of other scriptures together to it, then it seems like well, that's what it says. It's talking about Satan, right? Well, no. See, what you have to do is you have to go back now, and you have to go to this verse here, and you have to break it down. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Now, matter of fact, before we go into the word Lucifer, let's jump down to the 16th verse. This is what it says: they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? So who's this man that caused these things to happen? The so-called white man, because he's the only one that has power to drop bombs and make the earth to tremble. And in doing so, these other nations are afraid of the so-called white man. All right. So if you read the whole chapter, then you'll know that, look, this ain't talking about an actual demon on the fourth dimension. It ain't talking about an angel in the fourth dimension. This is talking about a man. So now when you find out that it's talking about a man, who is this talking about? So let's go back up here to the 12th verse. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Now let's go to the Blue Letter Bible, to the book of Isaiah 14 and 12, and let's find out what the word Lucifer there means in the Hebrew and in the Greek. All right, it says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Right? Now when you go here, the word Lucifer is what? Hayalal. Hayalal. And then as you scroll down, of course, Esau's going to put his 2 cents in it, but the term Lucifer means what? Light bearer, shining one, morning star. All right. And then it says here, of the king of Babylon and Satan. See, it ain't talking about Satan, but they have to throw that in there, because that's what the devil does. And it's talking about the king of Babylon, not ancient Babylon. It's talking about America today, because you have to understand that anybody that they set up into office here in the so-called United States or around the world is basically only a puppet for the international bankers. All right, the international bankers are the ones that's running this thing. All right, so they have puppet leaders that they set up, and these puppet leaders are doing nothing but ushering in this so-called new world order, the so-called new age. They're ushering in this satanic Luciferian doctrine that goes back to the creation of what is known today as the Illuminati. All right, so it means shining one and morning star. Now, this term Hayalal comes from the root word etymology of a word in 1984. It says in the sense of brightness. And then when you go to 1984, what does it say there? Halal. And what does halal mean? To shine, to flash forth light. All right. So that's basically what the term Hayalal means, and it was translated as Lucifer in the Latin Vulgate by Jerome. And the reason why it was done that is because by that time they had already incorporated Greek mythology and Roman mythology into putting a spell or a superstitious spell upon the people, upon Israel, so that the Roman Catholic Church can control the minds of the people. They can control the money that was coming in. They can control the lands, and the people can hand them over everything through fear. That's the reason why it was set up. All right, now that we look at the word Hayalal, which means it means light bearer, let's go back to the Blue Letter Bible here on the main page, and let's scroll down to the Septuagint, which is the Greek form of the Bible. All right, this is the Greek translation, the Septuagint, and the word here in the Greek for Lucifer is Eosphoros. All right, Eosphoros basically means light bearer, and we're going to show you that. Now, when you look up this term Eosphoros in the free dictionary online, as you see here, I typed in Eosphoros, right, and then when I hit the search button, it sent me to Hesperus, the redirected from Eosphoros, right? So what does Hesperus means? Well, let's find out. It says in Greek mythology, see, they already know it's a Greek mythology. You know, in Greek mythology, Hesperos, Greek Hesperos, the evening star, sometimes Latinized as Hesperus, and Eosphoros, morning star. Latinized as Eosphoros, see Lucifer. And we're going to check out this word Lucifer real quick. And the reason why that happened was because those priests that went down to Alexandria, they were already incorporating certain things into the scriptures, such as, you know, the scariness of hell, and Satan being cast out of heaven, and the virgin birth myth, and all those other things. So those men that were sent down there basically were men that were some of them, you know, I don't know if all of them, but I know some of them had already tried to incorporate a certain Greek mythology into these scriptures. Just such as, I'll give you an example, the book of Isaiah, the 7th chapter, and I believe it's the 14th verse, where it says a virgin shall be with child. They purposely put the word Parthenos there, which the word Parthenos is a Greek word which means virgin. When they should have put the word Neanis, which the word Neanis means young woman, because the Hebrew Ailama or Ayalama basically means a young woman. So they put certain words there on purpose. And in the New Testament, like when you look into the book of Acts, the 12th chapter, they put the word there Easter instead of putting the word Passover, just to let you know that there were certain little key words that they were putting in there into the scriptures to try to scare the people into accepting their way of reasoning, or the way of thinking. All right, so that's what was happening. Now, as you read down here, right, it says see Lucifer. So now when you click on the word Lucifer, the word Lucifer says Lucifer is a Latin word meaning light bearer, from lux, lucis, light. See, you got lux, you have lucis, light, and fere, to bear, bring. Now, before I read any more of this definition, I'll take you to the Latin Vulgate. This is where they got it from. Jerome translated it as Lucifer. See? Then when you go to the Spanish Bible, the word here says lucero, lucero, which is light bearer.